My capstone topic is how the media affects women in societies. My main goal consisted of researching all the effects that occur when women are exposed to the media.
Women in societies are constantly exposed to toxic advertisements shown in magazines, television, and billboards. These advertisements encourage the ideal image of how women should look, which is ultra slim.
Young women encounter thousands of magazines and advertisements which presents women in a negative light. The advertisements involve beautiful women as a marketing tool to sell the products. Now, if we flip through some of these magazines, we can find some examples. This company in particular is trying to sell sunglasses. Now, if you come over here and look at the model, you can tell that she's absolutely gorgeous. She has perfect hair, flawless skin, amazing makeup, and of course a slim body. Now, this tactic usually works because consumers want the products even more, especially if the advertisement contains beautiful models. Now, someone that would look at this advertisement would think if they bought the product that they'd look like her, which is very unrealistic.
Some companies believe that their products would sell better if the advertisements contain sexualized images. A company that is known for exploiting women in a sexual way is Victoria's Secret. Nearly all Victoria's Secret advertisements include models in bras and underwear or lingerie. When young girls view these advertisements, they think they need to have the clothing to be sexy. Problems are then created because girls view themselves as not being sexy enough, but what they don't understand is the models are unrealistic. Self magazine is known for always having ideal models featured in their issues, particularly in Self's September 2009 issue that featured Kelly Clarkson. Controversy develops when Clarkson's appearance on the cover was perfect. Her hair, skin, and nails, and especially her body, were in perfect condition. But Clarkson was spotted with curves weeks before. The editor of Self magazine defended Self by stating magazines are only trying to make sales. This further proves that companies promote unrealistic images of women to make more sales. When the media releases ideal images of models, it gives a false perception of women. The average size woman in America is 5'4" and weighs 140 pounds. But models in magazines are on average 5'11" and weigh 117 pounds. The media creates a perspective for the ideal woman to be tall and thin, but most American women don't fall into that category. Today, Americans are bigger than ever, but society still glamorizes this skinny body type. Models in magazines look slim and yet not sickly or bony. This shows that models that appear skinny in magazines are really not that thin. The program that is used to manipulate photos is called Photoshop. Photoshop is a computer program that has the ability to change any aspect of a picture. The tool that they use is liquefier. It can change imperfections like spots, moles, and scars. Here is an example of the liquefier in use. The liquefier is able to shrink pixels in a picture, which makes the object smaller. This means a size 26 model can easily be turned into a size 6 model, as shown. When average women read magazines, they often come across models with a body shape that most likely doesn't match their own. This can cause problems for women psychologically and physically, which can lead to short or long-term effects. The short-term effects consist of anxiety and low self-esteem. Depression can occur if women have a negative view of themselves and feel worthless. Depression can then lead to serious eating disorders like anorexia nervosa, anorexia, and bulimia. Eating disorders tend to happen when comparisons are made to skinny models, which causes a distorted body image. A study was created among young female college students who were shown images of beauty advertisements. Then they were given the option to eat a normal calorie snack or a diet snack. When the students saw skinny models, they chose a low-calorie snack. By seeing a model that was thin, the students had body dissatisfaction because of the comparisons they made. Since 1959, an iconic toy for young girls has been the Barbie doll. Even though girls love Barbie, it can have a negative effect on their self-esteem and body image. There are many reasons why Barbie is a bad influence on pre-adolescent girls. The main reason is because she has unrealistic proportions. If Barbie was a real woman, her waist and head would have the same circumference. Thus, she'd only have room for half a liver and a few inches of intestines. This would result in Barbie having chronic diarrhea and die from malnutrition. Also, Barbie's neck is measured to be twice as long as an average human. With an extra long neck, she wouldn't be able to hold her head up. Her legs are 30% longer than the average human, which would cause her to walk on all fours. Barbie's unrealistic body demonstrates how misleading it can be towards girls. Girls who idolize Barbie eventually want to look like her. If her figure is impractical, then girls may develop low self-esteem. Eventually, later, they could develop more serious diseases. A young woman who truly idolizes Barbie underwent several surgeries to look just like her. As you can tell, her body proportions are a bit off. To get a better perspective of how the media affects women, I conducted a survey. The survey was given to 25 males and 25 females of all ages. The first question tested the knowledge for the percentage of pictures in magazines that were photoshopped. The correct answer was 100%, but very few males and females got it right. This helps to better explain why women would believe that models in magazines were perfect. Also, the reason women judge their bodies so much is because they are comparing them to an image that is not real. The second question used a scale from 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest. It asked how much confidence did they have in their appearance. On average, the females had lower ratings, and the males had numbers that were higher than 5. The females had more than 50% of their confidence levels below the male confidence level. This data reveals that women are more sensitive about their appearance, and outside sources could have a big impact. Third question asks if there was an instance when they have looked at a model in a magazine and felt insecure about their own body. More than 75%, 21 out of 25 females answered yes. More than 75%, 19 out of 25 males answered no. This data tells that females are more affected by photoshopped images than males. Fourth question asks if it was possible to exercise and eat healthy to the point where their body could look like a model in advertisements. The correct answer is no, because the models are flawless, and that is only possible with the use of Photoshop. The females had 17 no answers versus the males who had 9 no answers. This may be because females think it's impossible to look like a model. The fifth question asks if women had a lot of pressure to be perfect. The correct answer is yes, because the only thing the media publishes is perfection. If women see perfect models in magazines they enjoy reading, then they are going to feel pressure if they don't appear that way. Most males and females had the correct answer. A female from the survey stated, "There is so much pressure on women to look a particular way. I constantly have low self-esteem about myself because I want to be viewed a certain way, and it almost seems unreachable." Sixth question asks if it was possible for a woman to look perfect. The correct answer is no, because it is impossible to be flawless. Most males and females got the question correct. The last question asks what the perfect body shape is for a woman. The shapes were pear, which is a well-defined waist, round thighs and butt, and narrow breasts. The triangle, wider shoulders and breasts, narrow hips. The rectangle, bust and shoulders are the same width as hips and little to no waist definition. The hourglass, bust and shoulders are the same width and the waist is defined. And the apple, appearance is round and wide in the bust, waist, and butt area. The hourglass shape is the closest that represents Barbie's shape. Most of the females put the hourglass figure. This says that women would rather look skinny in the waist but wider in the breast and butt area. The males liked all the shapes but mostly the hourglass. Many comments from men were written, and it said that they liked all the body types. A male that surveyed circled all the body shapes and stated everyone is perfect in their own way. There is no definition of perfect because everyone has their own flaws. Experts argue that exploitation of women existed throughout history, which impacted women. The older media consists of books and poetry. In many cases, the lower class couldn't afford books. In the pre-industrial era, a statistical analyst examined British, Chinese, and Indian romantic poetry. They revealed that pre-cultures all preferred slimmer women because of how they were described. The poets all described women as having smaller waists. Also, they investigated and measured the waists of ancient sculptures created by the Egyptians, Indians, and Greco-Romans. Their waist-hip ratio all measured less than 0.8. Waist-hip ratio is the measurement of a person's hip and waist. The smaller the number, the smaller the person. The ancient Egyptians made sculptures of things that they worshipped. The statues were of queens and royal women, so they must have had pressure to look beautiful. This shows that the Egyptians liked women on the slimmer side. This created more pressure for the upper class women than the lower class. Even though there is proof that the media in the pre-industrial era affects women, it still does not compare to today's media. Media is in every magazine, TV commercial, and billboard all throughout the world. It makes it difficult for women not to be affected by it. The end. Thanks for watching. Oh, one more thing. Remember, you are your perfect you.